So yeah, Murphy Beds are coming up back in a big way. Hey everybody, hey Criticers, welcome back to Critic Box. I am Jared. This is the lovely Silk of Cinema, Andrea. We're
No,
just here chatting and talking. How are you doing, Andrea?
I've got big hair, Jared.
You guessed it, it's a big hair day, my friend. See, I'm the opposite. So whenever if you have the slightest wave or curl to your hair, it
Yeah,
is out. But for
yeah.
me, I have fine hair, it is flat. Like that
Oh,
is yeah, that's what happens with me. So I'm literally having to tease this out to look like I got something going on.
okay. Well, no, the
Yeah.
look is good on you. The look is good on you. There's a lot of things happening this weekend. It's a long weekend here, and I'm looking forward to that extra holiday day. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Happy to
Yay.
be here looking at whatever we're going to be looking at today, because obviously we have no idea what's going to be coming before us.
As the producers decide what it is that we're watching. It's good. I feel like it's going to be another trailer day. That's what we have planned. We have on the docket.
Okay, I mean, how many trailers can we watch? How like just new trailers for new things that are coming out? Like,
I believe some of these trailers are going to be classic trailers, older movies that have already come out, and we get to talk about the trailer.
oh, so there's a chance that we may have already seen this movie.
There is a very good chance that you have probably seen this movie. As we've known, there's a lot of movies that I have not seen, and then a lot of movies I have seen, and it is absolutely a wild card.
Oh
Just
no,
like my memory of what I remember and what I don't remember is just wild card. I have no say in it.
I think
Let's
good.
get down on it and see. Oh, what? Oh my God! Is this that
Of
famous
course,
movie from 1978? The 1978 hitmaker, Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars?
of course, they're catering to you.
I mean, what is this War of the Stars? I've never heard of this franchise. I know nothing about it.
Star Trek.
Luke Skywalker and Han Solo rescued the princess, destroyed the Death Star, but their story
Is that Harrison
didn't
Ford?
end there.
Of course.
Now, the creators of the biggest smash hit of all time bring you the next episode in the Star Wars saga, The Empire Strikes Back.
The Empire Strikes Back.
The continuing story of our band of heroes. Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia,
Her.
Han Solo,
Him.
C-3PO,
That.
R2-D2, and Chewbacca.
Him.
And introducing Lando Calrissian. It's an
Mhm.
epic of romance.
Billy D. Williams. Oh, they're siblings. They're not. Yeah.
Of heroes
Got that
and
tension with
villains.
the lightsaber.
The fact that they did
They cross trackless voids to
They-
unknown worlds.
Luke Skywalker, that's really super wrong. That's like watching a soap opera.
A galactic odyssey against oppression.
Galactic Odyssey.
A big, new, sprawling space adventure in the Star Wars saga. The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, shit.
Coming to your galaxy
Oh,
next summer.
1979.
Okay, so here's the thing that I noticed about trailers back then and trailers. Trailers back then had this voiceover that walked you through the whole film, that made you want to watch
Oh,
it.
yeah. Yeah.
Because if you really look at the visuals of that of the Star Wars trailer, there's nothing in it that was stupendous or special, like extra special enough for it to become the biggest film that it became. To me, well, okay, when you watch the movie, okay, you see it, but in the trailer itself, to actually get people to want to go watch the movie, to make them interested, the trailer is just so, oh, okay, there's some fighting and there's a starship, and it
A
looks
lot of
all
shootouts.
but it looks all very basic. And it's just like, what was it about that trailer that made people want to go watch that film? For me, it would have been the voiceover. And trailers nowadays, they don't have that voiceover. They just have the visuals from the film.
Oh,
And the visuals from the film have to be hot enough, engaging enough, interesting enough to make people want to go watch it.
Yeah, I feel like it's because Donald LaFontaine, the classic movie voiceover voice, died in 2008, and ever since then we've been scrambling to replace movie trailers with a good voice. So, because I remember in the 90s, you're like, what was it? It always been, in a world. Like, it would always, like, every movie trailer would be like, in a world where terrorists reign supreme, one man stands against the tide. Like, that was it. Like, that was, like, remember that? Like, that was the voiceover from then. And that was LaFontaine, and God, he was beautiful. But yeah, I feel like nowadays, like, yeah, we don't have that, like, let me hold your hand through what you're watching, which is literally like how Star Wars worked, like how the beginning opening credits of just like, prologue, let me tell you where you're about to walk into. Like, that's, because like, hey, let me set the stage for this, because you're not going to have any idea. Like, you got to learn about a galactic empire. You got to worry about a trade federation. There's rebels. Let me just hold your hand through that. And that's what I think for, like, worked for those, Yeah, like, in a world. But it's, or in a galaxy. But that's what I love about it, because if for a trailer, if you have to use like clips of a movie to explain what the movie's going to be about, Star Wars will be very hard, especially the second one, where you're like, okay, there's like a bounty hunter, and then there's like some sexual tension between like two characters, and then there's a guy who also wants to just kidnap them all, and like it just wasn't able, it is not enough to like thread them a story together. That's why you had to have that narrator to be like, okay, you remember the first one, so this one's continuing. You like these characters? They're gonna be there. There's gonna be some new characters. His name's Lando Calrissian. You're gonna like him, trust me. And I do feel like we should bring that back more for some films.
Yeah.
Like, otherwise, I'm like, I have no idea what this movie's about. I don't want to call out some movies, but let's just say Kalki, for example. If we had a narrator that was kind of holding your hand, telling you, like, okay, in this world, this is setting up, this guy's kind of really important, and he's there, and then there's going to be some other important, we'll leave you some mysteries, whatever, give you, a little teaser reason to watch it, but it's like, yeah, we do need that holding your hand to get through some of these now.
I mean, yeah, that is fact. I can't pull a trailer out of... No, long legs. I need that for long legs.
We still don't know what it's about.
Listen, I just know Nick Cage is in it.
Yeah. It is scary.
But and then you do need the trailer, you do need that voiceover for some of these trailers. But there's a lot of trailers that just visually can stand on their own, and the little snippets of the dialogue in the movie that we get is enough to do it. Now, but looking back on that and like it is just so. The quality of the movie making is just so old. I'm seeing the Chevys, I'm seeing the Pintos.
Yeah, you're seeing just the fog of cigarette smoke in the theaters, just blocking the top part of the screen. Like
I'm seeing it, and it's just like, okay, that was what the world was. Was Star Wars really considered cutting edge filmmaking at the time?
Yes, it was.
Okay, well,
it actually was. Like, that was like the cutting edge of sci-fi. That like the first one, New Hope in 1978, like, bam, that like put sci-fi on the map and let it be a tangible. Like, there's a lot of shitty sci-fi movies from the 80s because of Star Wars. Yeah, it absolutely reinvigorated the that whole genre.
Oh wow! I mean, I look at Planet of the Apes releases from back then, and I just feel like the quality of the special effects was better, even though it was still a baby.
Those masks.
Yeah, listen, they didn't have CGI back then. They worked with what they had.
You got to do what you had. Yeah, use what you had. Except for the lightsaber, where they were like, okay, we'll figure this out somehow. We use a green screen.
Right, but they worked with what they had back in those days, and I'm just like, what they had to us now looks so old. And you have to wonder if the filmmakers, especially George Lucas, is looking back on their old works and being like, still, yeah, I did that.
Oh, you mean as he's still counting his billions? Hell yeah, he's still looking back and like, I just need to get 3 good films, I'm set for life.
No, money aside, massive success, money made, global box office aside. Is he still looking back and being like, yeah, that's something that I made, considering what he could possibly make today, how he could tell Star Wars today if he dropped it today with the technology that we have?
I think you're forgetting the terrible, terrible late 2000s, early 2010s when the DVDs and Blu-rays of Star Wars came out, and George kept adding shit. He kept using modern day technology to add shit to scenes, cut out scenes. Remember the whole Han shot first? Yeah, because he changed it to where the green guy Greedo shot first. And they literally went in post and made Han go like, ugh! Like they literally just took him and a cutout went, ugh! Like he dodged a shot and then he shot as like self-defense. It was a whole fiasco, and there's a lot of Star Wars purists out there that like hunt for like the DVD or Blu-ray edition without all of George Lucas's bullshit that he added in. So we can actually say, of all people, George Lucas was not happy with what he did. He wanted to add a whole bunch of shit, and everybody hated it.
Okay. Well,
he tried to use modern tech, and everybody got real pissed.
I honestly, as you tell that story, I'm just feeling studio pressure, being like, nah. Hans is our superhero. He can't shoot first. That's outright murder. You have to.
I know it was some Puritan era where it's like, no, it was self-defense. I'm like, no, motherfucker, like he was about to get shot. He knew he was about to get shot, so he shot first. Like that's its own story. It works.
That's basically what they're saying. No, Hans is getting off. Okay, rewrite this.
Oh, it's awful what they did. But anyway, but Empire Strikes Back, too bad that movie flopped and nothing ever happened again. They didn't even make a third one. Unfortunately, we'll never know.
Well, sorry, did I say Star Trek?
Criticers, write to us in the comments section. Let us know what you think about Andrea's ideas of Star Trek.
Okay, Star Wars. Star Wars is, from that. I mean, if I was alive back then, from that wouldn't have made me want to go watch it. What would have made me want to go watch it is the hype that it received after the fact, after it got released, and everyone was like, this is great. Because to me, I'm sorry, Harrison Ford was just not that cute. Okay, he was supposed to be.
Oh. Criticers, write to us in the comment section. Let us know what you think about Andrea's opinions about Han Solo / Harrison Ford.
Mark Hamill was considered one of the two. Okay,
they both brought their own. Okay, if you wanted a boy next door, you had Mark Hamill. All right, if you wanted the bad boy, you get yourself a Harrison Ford in a vest.
He did not even look bad. What made Harrison Ford's character Han Solo look good was Chewbacca.
Harrison Ford, the best pot dealer in Hollywood.
Okay. Listen, and I'm so glad that he left Star Wars and went off into the Raiders of the Lost Ark and all that stuff, because no, he just wasn't doing it for me, and he's still not at that time. You know what I mean? Like,
so Andrea, Han Solo doesn't do it for you.
No, I know the marketing was supposed to be like, here's this really handsome guy, and
ruggedly.
You said he's supposed to be the bad guy. He's supposed to be rugged. He's supposed to be the not status quo, and the contrast to Luke Skywalker, who is clean and bred from the beginning as the savior of this world and like the ideal choice of a mate. And I know that's what they were trying to give him, and it worked for a lot of people. But there's a lot of people that just did not play for, and we're just like, oh, Han Solo, okay. Cool.
There's gonna be a whole lot of
they had a
there's gonna be some handstands in the comment section being like, how dare you
do it. Let me hear it, because
at me
they had to write that Princess Leia was attracted to this man after they just shot down the whole Luke Skywalker storyline, and that would have been.
Well, there was a very clear reason why they
blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It like that. They didn't have to write it like that. And it's like they forced her into Han Solo's arms. And I am not
great Star Wars pun that you didn't mean to do, but go ahead.
I am not forgetful, nor am I forgiving that. Like, you didn't have to write it like that. Sorry. That's it. I know enough of Star Wars to know that. Okay, you could have gave her They could have wrote the story in a different way where Princess Leia ended up with Luke Skywalker, and they would have ruled that planet and that universe in the way of the Jedi.
Like a Targaryen from Game of Thrones, just brother sister combined.
Okay, wait. Right. Okay, you are the Star Wars nerd here.
Unintentionally, I didn't mean to be the Star Wars nerd, but I became one this year. Yeah, go ahead.
How did Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia find out that they were brother and sister?
It was Yoda that dropped the dime to Luke that it's like, no, there's a sister. And then Vader started picking up on it about the same time. That it was after Darth Vader told Luke that he's his father. He was like, no, that's impossible. And then it was, I believe it was, then Luke went to Yoda, and then Yoda dropped the dime. There's like, by the way, you got a sis out there. And then that's why Luke and Leia no longer try to bump uglies.
It had to be Leia. It had to be Leia.
Yeah, there's only one woman in the galaxy, and it was Princess Leia. That was absolutely how that works in the Star Wars universe.
He didn't need
it's all dudes, and then there's just one woman.
He didn't need a sister. He did not need a sister. Like, we just didn't have to go there and shoot down people's dreams. And
I think it was actually already like long planned into the works of that.
I don't care. Okay. Me being unreasonable. This is that's one of the things I will hold against Star Wars forever. And you know what? Going back to my earlier point about how catchy the visual effects and the special effects look in this trailer, I still have to give it to them for doing what they did, because in a way it's actually still better than what we have in the Star Wars entries nowadays. I'm not saying the Acolyte, but I kind of am saying the Acolyte, even though Acolyte seems to, on that back end of the series, episodes 4 through 8 thing that we talked about recently, it seems to be, making people happy.
Apparently episode 4 I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet, but apparently episode 4 redeems it slightly. I mean, I'm still gonna watch it. I mean,
but I'm just saying, there is a thing there. There is, you have to give credit to where credit's due. George Lucasfilms, Star Wars did with what they could do with special effects and visual effects.
They use practical effects that still, I mean, yes, sure, look dated, but still look good. They didn't look bad.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shows, again, the aforementioned one, not to be named again, but there's a lot of shows that today have the technology and they don't look nearly as good. So
yeah, CGI salads. That's what I call them. There's like a whole bunch of CGI salads. Like, they wanted to get it done cheap, and even though they have so much money, and it still looks like crap. That's why Lord of the Rings looks amazing for 2000 eras, but then nowadays you're like, how do we look worse?
Well, maybe it's like you said, it's just because we have access to all of the technology, and there's so many cooks in the kitchen about the story should be told this way. There's so many times where after a thing is shot, you could switch it up in post and being like, no, this is what we want. It has to be like this. We're making the story like this. And we have the technology in post-production to make that happen. And so they do it. So that's how it could possibly look worse. I mean, either the story or they just put too much salt on it and be like, hey.
It became way more, I mean, it's always been about the money, but now it's become money number one, actual story, visuals, everything down the line.
That lighting effect that started out as pink now is purple and has gone into yellow, and really didn't have to do that. But hey,
here we are.
Want it, and this is how we just added too much of our own special sauce, and basically, and I think episode 5.
Yes. Yes, I'm sorry. It was episode 5 of Acolyte that everyone says is decent. Hold on. I need to close my window, then we're going to watch the next trailer.
Oh, what?
Yes, I just realized, like a hack, I have an open window when I'm trying to record audio.
Okay, guys, so now that it's gone, we're going to start a write-in campaign about why we should review Star Trek. Okay, enough of this Star Wars.
Ah, you know what? We actually literally could. We could do a Star Trek review because I haven't seen any of them. So I would be coming in fresh, and you'd be coming in as a fan. I feel like we can do that. We can bring in the Trekkies on this.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm for it. Yeah.
All right.
I know my wife loves Star Trek, yet she's never been like, let's sit down and watch these. So
I'll make you.
yeah.